Hey, and welcome back. If it's your first time joining us, we're so glad to have you here. If you're dealing with a tough time, you are in the perfect place.
So grab a cozy seat and join us as we explore the challenges of life together. Armed with friendship, a genuine desire to help, and a bit of laughter along the way. This is Rising from Ash, where every Thursday we tackle a new experience together.
With that, let's get to it. Hey guys, welcome back. I just want to take a moment and apologize for the last couple weeks here. Things have been a little inconsistent. Well, this is real life, and we are just a couple mamas on our healing journey here. So things happen, and it has been a little chaotic, and I've been trying to work through my healing, and things have gotten a little
Heavy, dark.
Yeah, and that's not the kind of place where you really want to. I want to come back and talk about it and reflect on it, not really talk.
While we're in it.
Yes. In it, because it's hard to see the bigger picture when you're in it.
Trying to be positive while you're in the thick of it, and it's better this way.
It's better this way. But I do apologize for that. I've just been reflecting a lot on parts of me that are still messy. There's patterns, triggers, questions that I don't have answers to that I've really been trying to unravel all at once. And I realize that I can't do that. There's, so to say, there's knots that are too old, tight, or buried that I am trying to untangle. And it's definitely not a clean line. It's definitely not an easy thing to do. It's messy and slow.
Healing, right?
Yeah, healing. Yeah, definitely. So some of these things I'm untangling are just like beliefs that I had picked up without realizing it, fears that I still have that show up uninvited, and patterns I have let myself fall into even when I know better. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, wrap it with a bow. I am just sitting in the mess, making peace with the process.
I like that. Peace with the process.
Yes. So
it's so true, though. You're kind of at its will of where you're at, and growth takes time. And I've been recognizing lately different patterns that I have that have stemmed from toxic relationships. And it wasn't always apparent that was a reason, but I can be more self-aware now and kind of reflect on, okay, I have this behavior because of a trigger from the past, and that's how I reacted in the past. So in the past, a lot of times I was criticized with how I was doing things, why I did things. You're not doing it right. Why don't you do it like this? So
like,
it was
hyper aware.
Oh my gosh, it was like never good enough. So now it's like, if somebody barely questions what I did, why I did it, how I did it, I'm super defensive and have to like over explain myself to be like, I'm good enough. I'm worthy enough. It's good. Like it's challenging. It's something that you have to
be hyper aware of in yourself. I keep saying hyper aware, but like you do. I have the same issue, and I've gotten a lot better than I originally was when I first got out of a toxic relationship. When I left it, especially I had one that was really, really bad. I've had several toxic relationships, but this was terrible. And when I got out of it, I was so quick to become so defensive.
Yep.
Instantly. Everything was an attack. And it's like reminding myself all the time, like, you're not under attack. Nobody's attacking you. It's okay. They're not coming from a malicious place.
It's the fight mechanism.
Yeah.
It's a fight or flight. It's a fight. Because you're like, I'm good enough. I'm worthy enough. Like,
yeah. And stop judging me. Stop judging me. Like,
stop criticizing me.
Because when you get out of a toxic relationship, especially somebody very, very toxic, like I was with a narcissist. So getting out of that, I was incredibly defensive over everything. And it was almost because I had to defend myself the entire relationship.
Yeah.
So then when I got out of that, I'm like so used to defending myself that when anybody says anything, and it's not something you forget overnight. And it's not something, there's no timeline to healing. It's not like, oh, well, you've been out of that relationship for a year. You should be over it.
No,
you've been out of it 5 years.
In you.
You've been out of it 20 years. No, it becomes a part of you. Absolutely.
And you have to dig deep to like go within and be like, okay, that was then. I can work on this. I'm not being attacked. I'm not under attack. I'm not being criticized or judged. They just ask the simple question. That's it.
Simplest thing. Maybe the simplest thing. Oh, like maybe we made food and then went outside and nobody did the dishes. And I came back inside, took my shower, get out of the shower, and it's literally just an observation. Somebody's like, oh, we forgot to do the dishes. I don't hear, oh, we forgot to do the dishes, or, oh, we got to get those dishes done. I hear, you need to do those dishes.
You didn't
do the dishes. You're lazy. Mm-hmm. You're not good enough. You're lazy. Why didn't you get those dishes done? And literally they could just be like, oh, shoot, we forgot to do them. Like, it's literally an observation.
Yep.
Observation.
A realization, like, oh, shit, we forgot to do that before we went out. Yeah.
And I don't hear that.
Nope.
I hear...
It's almost like you're reading between the lines.
Yeah. But when you're in that kind of relationship, you have to live between the lines.
You're hyper aware because you're so manipulated and gaslit that you have to pick apart everything they say because
every conversation
they're twisting things and turning things and keeping you
weaponizing.
Yeah,
the simplest
off
things.
kilter.
Yeah, and they have to make you so hyper aware of yourself and so ingrained that there's something wrong with you so that you don't really pay attention to what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That is wrong.
Right.
If you're so aware of yourself and you are so like worried about what you're doing wrong and concentrated on fixing yourself and, you know, just so focused on this, then you have no energy or attention to them and what they're doing.
Right.
And you can just, you know, they can do whatever they want because they have you convinced that you're the one who's wrong anyway by that point. So then it's a defensive way to live, and it's exhausting to live that way. And I'm sure it's frustrating to be around or hang around somebody who's defensive over everything. So I've really, really tried so hard to lose that defensiveness, but I do still see it sneak in at times where I'm like, and even if I don't say anything out loud, you know, I'm very passive and I don't like to rock the boat. No confrontation. Make everybody happy. Life is
people pleasing.
Yeah,
grand.
Yeah, it's grand. It is grand. But
I'll swallow it, my feelings, and pretend like everything is okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But back to what you were saying, with those thoughts too, you become like super self-critical and hyper aware of like what you're doing, and like, oh, did I do that wrong? Did I mess up? You know, and like you almost still have that voice in the back of your head of where you learn the trauma from, or experience the trauma, I should say. It takes time for that voice in your head of criticizing you to like kind of dissipate and leave, and you start hearing your own voice, and you can be like, I'm good enough. This was fine. I made this decision and it's okay. I don't have to second guess myself. I don't have to check in with somebody else to see if it's okay, because I've had a habit of that. Like, I have to like check with other people to make sure things are okay, you know, that I've done. Like, is this good enough? Is this good enough? And
yeah,
like,
you need that validation, that what you're doing, and that, approval.
Exactly. And it's such a shitty way to live.
Yeah, you're always proving your self-worth. You're comparing other people. You're self-critical.
It's exhausting.
You're not being good enough.
So exhausting. And the comparing, oh my God. Don't even get me started. Like, everything is a comparison, because I was compared a lot.
Oh, yeah. My ex was, and not to cut you off, my ex was great at that. And he, you know, being narcissistic, though, he compared me to ex-girlfriends. So it was very slick and very sly where, oh, well, my ex always made me soup when I was sick. You know, so I'm going to make him soup when he's sick, but I'm going to make him soup and I'm going to whatever. Because now I feel like I'm in competition with the person before me, which she may never have even made him soup.
Right.
But in my mind, oh, I've got to do it this way. Or, oh, she always made it from scratch. Well, no, I'm cooking from scratch. Oh, every ex of mine adored my white coat. I don't know. It's just something stupid. And it was like, now every time he wears that coat, I have to make sure he knows I think he looks the best in it, and that I appreciate the way he looks too, or whatever. Yeah, and it is so pathetic. But you do. It's almost like, and then you want this like approval from them, and then it's just I don't know, little different, but you know what I mean.
I'm kind of going off of that, and it might be a little bit of a tangent or whatever, but like my ex with his mom, it would be my mom. My mom, worked a full-time job and cleaned the house and made the food and did the dishes and all this stuff. Okay, well, I'm not your mom.
Yeah.
I'm not doing all that, but it was like the manipulation tactic or the, it's manipulation.
It's manipulation. It's a way to make you do something.
Make you feel bad, or like, oh, you want to like be as good as so-and-so, so I'm going to tell you what they did so you can like do that or
match it or
go above. Yeah, exactly. So there was this one time where I thought of something and I wanted to do something special for him. So I had it in the works, and then he was like, hey, what would be really cool is if you did XYZ. And that was already what I had thought of, and it was in the works. And I was like, crap. Well, now I feel like I have to tell him to be like, I thought of it first. And I'm not just doing it because
I'm thoughtful and caring, and I know
myself.
You. And
And it's not just because you said it would be cool if, like, I already had it, but it kind of almost takes away from the surprise and like.
Yeah, I get that. I've done that in the past before too, where I'm like, oh, well, I have to prove that I'm, and it's just one of those patterns, those things that continue to show up where, well, I'm thoughtful. I thought of you. I'm enough. I'm whatever. And the thing is, though, when you're in a healthy relationship or friendship or whatever, when you get somebody something, like if I got Michael a gift, I wouldn't, and I bought him something special, and then he says, oh, it would be cool if you, whatever, let's say I got him a hat, and, oh, it'd be cool if you got my initials embroidered on the side, but I had already done it.
Right.
I wouldn't feel the need to have to almost like prove that I had it done before I gave it to him. I could give it to him, and then he'd see it, and then he'd see the initials, and then I'd laugh, and I'd be like, what's funny about those initials is you told me you wanted initials, and I had already had them put on, and be like, oh man, like that's so cool, like thanks. And it would be appreciated nonetheless.
Exactly.
Because that's how it should be, no matter who you get a gift for or
it's
what
not like
you do.
Taken away from.
It doesn't take away from, and you don't have to prove yourself that like, oh, I'm thoughtful and I'm caring and, I'm enough. It always comes back to that, being enough and feeling the need to have to be perfect and feeling the need to be enough and feeling like you're worthy. I think everything, my anxiety and everything always stems back to this need to prove myself, and love is earned, not given. Yeah. It's not just, love isn't just given. It is something that I have to earn. And everything stems back to earning love. But then there's these unhealthy patterns that I know better.
Right.
I know better. And that's what's kind of made me do this whole, the last couple weeks, it's going down, and it's not like a roller coaster, exciting, hands in the air, thrilling down, knowing you're going back up. It's just a plummeting down, terrifying, because you don't know if the roller coaster is going to pick you back up.
Right.
And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm just spiraling right now, trying to untangle all of this
shit.
Yeah. Couldn't find it for lack of a better word. All of this crap. Yep. Exactly. So.
And to be fully transparent, I'm realizing when I'm parenting my children, because I'm a single mom, and I don't have a partner there to support me when I'm parenting, I want to have it be peaceful. I don't like conflict. So like if I tell them something and they push back, I might be a little more easy instead of like, okay, I'm the mom, this is how it is. I might be like, okay, fine. Like I'll just do it. It's just easier that way type of thing. And I am not proud of this. And I am not proud of it at all.
Just a pattern you've picked up.
I really like when I'm looking back more and more recently, like I've had other friends tell me, this is what I see from an outsider's perspective. This is what I see. You're too soft. You're a pushover. You let them get away with everything. Numerous people have said something to me, and I appreciate it because it's nice to have an outsider's perspective because I see it from inside my brain and trying to like smooth it over because I feel like I always have to be the referee because one's picking on the other and they're whining at each other and I'm like,
parenting.
Oh my God.
Talk a whole episode on parenting itself.
Girl, please. I wish there was
siblings,
a manual.
That's another one too.
Oh, for sure. And the whining and the attitude when they're hitting, puberty, and then finding out that they don't give their dad attitude or at his house and it's just mostly me. And it's really hard getting the brunt of all this stuff and still trying to be firm and fair. And I mean, like, life's not fair, but like as fair as possible, you know, not like favoritizing, showing favorites. There you go. To anyone, because I don't feel like I do. I feel like I'm meeting them where their personalities are. So I feel like when it comes to parenting my children, due to the trauma that I experienced and the proving my worth, it kind of, I feel like, has carried over into parenting, where it's like, I don't want my kids to be mad at me. And I know, yes, I know, I'm aware, fully aware, it's not healthy. Working on it. It's okay if your kids are mad at you. You're the parent, not their friend. You can be their friend too, but like, you're their parent first. First and foremost. Yes.
Foremost. Thank you.
Yes, first and foremost. Yeah. So when they're pushing back and stuff like that, I just feel like I don't want to have. I mean, my kids fight a lot. Like, I know that they fight more than most kids. I don't know what the reason behind that is, but it's freaking exhausting. And I'm constantly the referee, and it's always like, I feel like I try to empathize with each child and see both sides. So it's really hard for me, because it's like, I feel like I have to pick sides, and I don't want to do that. And I just trying to navigate that when you're healing and don't have a partner to help you with that. You're just kind of winging it. And so far it hasn't been beneficial. It hasn't been, you know, something needs to change, basically, because the behaviors that are coming from what I thought would be positive, you know, by like doing things for them. I'm interrupting myself here, but when I was growing up, my mom used to fight my battles.
Yes.
She did what she thought was best. You know, she did the best with what she knew at the time, and she thought it would be good because she was protective of me, and she wanted to take care of, you know, me being bullied at school. So she stepped in, right? I was not happy with that because she didn't teach me to stand up for myself. It was mom came to the rescue. So that carried over into adulthood, and that wasn't necessarily traumatic, but it didn't give me the confidence and the courage to stand up for myself because somebody else fought my battle for me.
Yeah, and people don't understand that either, and they need to understand that when we say things are traumatic or trauma, doesn't necessarily mean somebody did something that was super awful or bad. It just means that maybe the way that they handled it left some trauma within you, something that you need to go back and correct, because everybody's different, and she could have done the same to your sister, and your sister could have taken it a totally different way.
Right.
So, but it doesn't mean that it's not trauma for you, just because it's not the same as somebody's who is his quote unquote worse. So it is still a traumatic thing, and it's still considered trauma.
And I should be breaking the cycle rather than continuing it. And I think it's kind of a mixture of like
what you've learned,
what I learned, and like how I was in a relationship and how I was fighting to be seen and heard and, you know, valued, accepted, all those things. So I feel like if I tell my kids no, or if I, you know, if they're mad at me, then I'm being like abandoned, or, you know, I'm just a bad person. And like, I know that's not the case, but I really need to know it's not the case, because I say I know it's not the case, but it's still, those wounds are deep. And
absolutely.
I think I just want to be maybe quote unquote accepted by my kids, and I don't want them upset with me or to hate me or be mad at me. And so like that was a realization I had recently, that okay, I think it's because the way that I've handled things is because of
the past. Things that, and these are those things we're untangling and within healing and trying to recognize exactly where it stems from. And you don't have to have exactly, I guess, but kind of an idea of where it stems from in order to understand yourself better, so that you can break that cycle and unlearn some of the things that you've learned.
So I'm like, okay, moving forward.
You have to give yourself grace, though, to do that. You do, because it's hard, and it's a long uphill battle.
Especially since, I mean, they're 15, 12, and 10. That's a lot of years of, you know, they've been through a lot, but that's a lot of years of, I mean, it hasn't been that many years of me being a single mom, parenting them this way, but when they're with me most of the time.
Majority, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. When they're with me the majority of the time, and they've learned this, it's going to be harder to break certain things because it's like if I do it abrupt, I don't know, I'll figure it out. It's going to be messy. I mean, but that's part of change.
Absolutely.
Change is messy.
And some things, at least, I mean, this totally, don't want to take it all about children, the episode kind of taking a turn, but as far as children go, you do have to understand too that all children are different, and it's not all your responsibility and fault. Like, your children are, but like their personalities are going to shine through no matter what. I, going back in the past and knowing some of the anxieties I have and stuff that have, still stick with me, that inner child is still with me in my adulthood, and she still feels certain wounds, and anxiety is tied around those wounds. And I know my son has anxiety, and I have parented him in a way, not the opposite, because there are things that I learned growing up, obviously, that were wonderful and made me who I am. Like, I've learned some really great things, but there were certain ways that things were handled. And again, necessarily not saying everything's the wrong way, but my sister could have been taught the same thing as me, and I took it different. So the things that I was taught, I've kind of tweaked within my son, and trying to do it the way that would have helped me with my own anxieties. Yet he still has anxiety, and I'm trying to work him through that because I know how that feels. But even though I did it a little different, it's still not making that, it's making an impact in some ways. He feels very close to me, and he can tell me anything. But that anxiety, that part that I don't want him to have, is still there. So I'm trying to work him through that as I'm working through it. And maybe it's just because I do have anxiety, and I've recently started healing, but like, there was so long to parenting that I did have this anxiety, and maybe he just picked it up from me. I don't know. Is it necessarily my fault, or is it just some kids are bound to be just more anxious than others, regardless of how you parent?
I think their makeup, because two people can have kids together, and each of those kids can be completely different from each other. So
every time you parent, you're parenting a new kid.
Right.
You really are. You say every kid gets a different set of parents, but every parent gets a different kid. A set of children, like none of their children are the same. We're all completely different. So, it's hard. There's definitely some learning and breaking some learned behaviors and habits and fears and stuff there. But there's also a matter of understanding that some kids are just, you've got to try to help them the best you can, but it's not necessarily your fault or anything you're doing as a parent. Yeah. I know that one of my biggest things is, I think my fears that I bring into, and I'm having a really hard time letting go of, like you say, that being enough. What is enough? What makes me enough? Yeah, but like feeling like one of the biggest things is like, I struggle with feeling like I'm enough. What makes me lovable? Like, what do I have to do to be worthy, to be enough, to be accepted? And it's like this fear I have in my mind of, if I say no to this person, now I'm not going to be loved, and now I'm not worthy, or they're not going to see me as worthy of being loved anymore. Yep. Or, if I tell, I can't today, they're never going to talk to me again. I'm not going to be loved. I'm not worthy. Or if I feel like I have to perform and I have to do certain things in order to be worthy of love. It's not just given unconditionally for being who I am. It's for what I do. And that's definitely one of those patterns that's completely messy and toxic. But I learned very young, and I know it's not like true. And I know it's not the right way to think.
Because you tell everybody else you're worthy just as you are.
Always. And I know it's true, because I see the worth in everybody that I meet. And I see that you're the same way, where we see the worth, we see the potential, which makes it so hard not to fall for potential and not just listen to what people are showing you. It makes it so hard. But you see that worth in every single other person. But when you hold up a mirror to yourself, it's so hard to see that same worth when you're looking at you, because you've been with you forever. At least this is how I feel. I've been with me forever. So when I look in the mirror, it's not that I'm just seeing the worth that this person has looking back at me. I'm seeing all the brokenness.
Yes.
And I know how broken they are when I see them. And it's hard to tell that person who's looking back at me that they're worthy,
Right.
that they're lovable the way they are, because I know they're far from perfect. And unless you're perfect, you're not worthy.
I think you nailed it.
But that's, and I laugh because that's my coping
mechanism. That's uncomfortable
I
laughter.
laugh. No, but no, but that's how I feel. So I think it's really hard for me to accept that I'm worth it, because I don't see that in myself. And maybe it's just something within me, or maybe it stems from things that I've been told that have created this brokenness in me, and I didn't even realize it.
It's like the subtle chipping away at your soul, at your spirit, at your...
Yeah, the tiniest things. It's the tiniest things. It's like somebody coming in and just taking a tiny little piece, just a little,
It's
little
okay.
bit, and then
It didn't bother me. It's okay that they said that. It bothered me a little bit, but it's okay.
and then it
I'll
just
brush
pushed
it
it
off.
aside.
Yeah.
Brush it off, push it to the side, and it's over time.
It snowballs.
Yeah, and those cracks become more apparent, and
Become weaker.
so when you look in the mirror, it's like, dang, that's what I see, and the brokenness.
Yep.
The brokenness, and that's what you're trying to fix, I think. And sometimes you're not sure how far back or how deep that crack is. How deep is it, so I can really fill it in, because I feel like I'm filling it in, but I'm just not getting to the surface, and it's not really healing. I'm just like kind of packing it down, and the only reason I think I dive so deep into my past and stuff is because I need to see how deep this wound goes.
It's almost like a sliver.
Yeah.
You need to get the whole thing out.
Because otherwise it could cause an infection, and it's
Right.
still
And it
still in
hurts.
there, and it hurts.
It hurts until you get to the root of it and get it out.
I
So you
absolutely
have
love that analogy, because it's so true. So true, because it's
It
painful.
is. It
And you
is.
don't always see them.
No.
Sometimes you just feel it and you're like, I know it's in there. I know it's there because I can feel it, but I can't see it. And you have to wait till it comes to the surface in order to actually get a good grip of it.
Yep.
So it's like, I want to go deep enough where I can get a good grip of it so I can remove it.
So in addition to the pain, like the sliver, and how it goes deep and stuff, trauma, I keep using that word, but it is trauma.
What it is, yeah.
From past relationships is trust. Like it's hard for me to trust at face value when somebody tells me something, because I feel like I need to read between the lines, and did I ask the quote unquote right question, because they're going to give me an answer that
some people are very, very careful about their responses in order to not get themselves tripped up.
yeah, they choose their words carefully, and
So
I
that they're not
learned
quote
that
unquote lying. You just
but they're
didn't
just
ask the right
omitting
questions.
some question, or omitting.
Which you guys, that's lying.
Yeah.
If somebody asks you something and you have to beat around the truth, that's lying. I try to tell my kids, like, we don't lie and we don't keep secrets. The only thing we keep is surprises. That's it.
Oh, I like that. We keep surprises. I like that.
We keep surprises, not secrets, and we don't lie.
Right.
We're honest. There's nothing to lie about.
Right.
You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to lie.
Right.
So
Be honest. Come to me and...
yeah, but some people are. They're very good at.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
if you're not asking the right questions, like
Yeah.
you were saying.
My sister, actually, she and I have talked about this, and she had to do the same thing in her past relationship. We're like, because we didn't ask the right question. They knew what we were asking, but they
played stupid and went around
or
it.
played on a certain word in the question, and we're like, oh, well, you didn't say this, you just asked this, and you're like, you know what I meant, like,
I know, but I didn't know what you meant. Like, you didn't ask that, but you didn't ask that.
Right. Oh,
hate that. We've all had those.
the games, like, you don't want to play games, but you have to play the game, which sucks. The overthinking, the reading into stuff,
Those patterns that you pick up and you carry with you.
right,
Things you learn.
and they are so exhausting. And it's so not healthy, and it's challenging to drop them, those behaviors, those responses, those toxic traits, whatever you want to call them. It's hard to change it when you're so used to being like hyper on edge, to be like, okay, you got to be like, overthink this worst case scenario, what's going to happen, prepare for that and hope for the best type of thing. And it's...
Yeah, I have a lot of fear, and I bring it into every relationship just because of that, playing those games and being manipulated and lied to, and having to be so careful of the words that I chose in order to get an honest response. And it has created so much, so many trust issues within myself. Not only do I not trust other people, I don't trust myself to make the right decisions about other people. And I struggle with that the most. And how are you supposed to, a part of healing is listening to your inner voice, letting your intuition guide you, and becoming, more connected to that part of you again. And how do you become healthy and healed and put all these pieces together and trust that intuition when you don't trust yourself? Your intuition didn't tell you last time, and maybe it did, and they gave you some sort of clue, but you didn't listen to it. It's like, but how are you supposed to trust your dang intuition to guide you, so you don't trust yourself? So how the heck am I supposed to be trusting anybody else?
Right.
I mean, at least that's me.
Girl, I'm right there with you.
I know I have a lot of trust issues in other people, and it stems because I just don't even believe in myself to make, I'm not smart enough to make these decisions for myself. And those are those lies and those patterns that we're taught. You're not pretty enough. You're not strong enough. You're not smart enough. Somebody else made me feel like I needed them to make these decisions for me because I was not enough on my own to do these things.
Right.
And that's...
You're not going to be able to do it on your own. That's what I was told.
Yeah, basically.
You can't do it without me type of thing. I'm just like...
Yep. And
maybe I should stay.
Yeah, right? What are you going to do without me? Do you know everything I do for you? And it's that mentality, it's in your head, yeah, and what did you do before me? And you think about it, what did I do before you?
Crap, it's been so long, I don't know.
It's been so long, I don't know. But the truth is, you'd be fine once you get there. But it's a matter of getting to that point and not listening to those lies that people are telling you, that you're not enough, that you're not smart enough, you're not strong enough, you're not...
Especially if it's a toxic relationship where they don't want you to leave because they know that
they want you to be reliant on them.
Yes. Yep.
100%. Absolutely. That's a whole topic itself, is within those toxic relationships and all of the typical traits and characteristics that these people have that will definitely deteriorate the person that you are. And that's sad, but there is healing from that too. It's just a matter of, you do have to start...
You need to break away from that. You cannot heal in the same environment that hurt you. You can't. It's not possible. You may think you're healing, but...
Yeah, until you actually get away, you're not really doing it.
It might temporarily change and things might temporarily get better.
Put a Band-Aid.
Yeah, until you're, I would always say he would pacify me enough. He was pacifying me. Oh, I'll tell you what you want to hear, basically, just to kick the can. Okay, all right, I'll do this for a little bit to make her happy, and then she'll stay. We'll be fine. And then I can go on with treating her how I was.
Yeah, as putting a Band-Aid on a broken bone. I'm sitting here, you put a Band-Aid, and convincing me that I'm going to be better because you put a Band-Aid on it.
Right.
But there was so much, the break is so much deeper, the pain is so much deeper, the problem isn't the surface here that we're seeing. It's deeper than this. So that's not going to help. That's not going to help me.
Right.
So I'm right there with you on that. The learning to trust and unlearn these patterns that we've learned in toxic relationships, or that we picked up throughout life from friends or whoever the heck you picked it up from, anything that is toxic or not serving you anymore, going back and unlearning it and just discarding it and growing and moving forward. But that's kind of where these last couple weeks have been for me. So I've been really noticing a lot of these patterns and these things, and then I'm spiraling, and I'm trying to get to that sliver and really dig it out so that I can heal,
Right.
get it out of there
Once
and
and for
heal
all.
once and for all. And it is, just like a sliver, when you start to dig at it and you start to poke at it, it hurts.
Yeah.
And sometimes you want to stop because it hurts too bad. I'll just let it push up a little more on its own.
Right.
But, it does hurt. Pain,
does.
hurt, or healing is painful. Healing can hurt, and it's not always pretty, and it will make you question why you're even doing it.
And you may want to stop.
Yeah, that's kind of the last couple weeks for me. So I do apologize, everyone, that I've been kind of mentally I wouldn't say I'm depressed, but I'm definitely mentally in a slump and a funk, and if I'm not careful, I could become depressed place where emotionally
Oh,
I'm just
yeah. I was right on the border, man. Like, it was right there. I'm like,
yeah, the little rain clouds following me around here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, all right, I got to outrun this.
blow it away. Shoo, go.
It is, so.
Ain't got no time for that.
Yeah, but you guys aren't alone in this. If you're dealing with the same thing, we'd love to hear from you and hear what you're going through, or
We understand.
what slivers do you have? What are you doing to, heal from those things, those wounds that are deeper than what people see, that are deeper than the surface? How are you working through that? What patterns did you have to unlearn, or are you unlearning? What lies did you let become truths?
Right.
What things are haunting you that, or you're carrying with you that no longer deserve to be in your bag?
So true. And just to let you guys know, we are still trying to figure out how we're going to do the podcast with having people on and interviewing.
And we definitely want to have some video coming too soon.
Yes. So
Definitely
we're
video.
still working all that out in the background, but it's coming soon, we promise. And we don't want anybody to think that we're leaving them hanging. We're not. We have you all, everybody written down, and we'll be reaching out soon once we get all the kinks worked out. And yeah, we're excited to grow this and have the community be more of a community where there's interaction between everybody, because right now I don't think there's really a way. I mean, besides a Facebook page, but
Yeah, definitely wanted some interaction. I want to talk to others and hear what they have to say, because I'm very, very excited to hear other people's stories, because I feel like there's so much more that other people have been through as well that people are going to be able to relate with.
Absolutely.
And so much more pain and out there that we
Needs
do
to
need
be
to work
released.
through. It needs to be released, and we're here for it, and we have a community here that's here for it, and
with that being said, we hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you next week.
sounds good.
Bye.
We really appreciate you spending your time with us today. Hopefully something resonated with you.
We can't wait to have you back next week. Until then, take care of yourself, and always remember, it's never too late to start healing.
Just a friendly reminder, we are not professionals. If you or someone you know needs help, we encourage you to check out the professional services we have linked below.